Hello, so my lesson plan is about cultural competence and refugee health, and it's geared toward a 12th grade class, which is about 85 minutes long for English language arts. And so generally when I do these lesson plans, I kind of work weirdly. Like I kind of just place things where I feel like are my strong suits. So I always start with the central focus of the unit just so I know what I want my students to get out of the lesson and so forth. So I start with that, the related skills that are gonna the support. So I said class and group discussions and maybe like note taking. Um, for some reason, I always do my standards last because I feel like going back and forth through the standards is a little difficult sometimes. And then, so since my um, lesson is geared around discussions, there aren't really like summative assessments, they're more formative because they're more class discussion, group discussion, small group discussion. And so students are going to define, interpret, and compare in their discussions. And I like to kind of look at some vocabulary that students might be struggling with. So that could be cultural competence, refugees, differentiated, so forth, and discourse, obviously the class discussions. And then here are the materials listed. So student private knowledge, students should be familiar with CAM and have basic awareness of non-Western medicines. And they're still learning the differences between non-Western medicines and Western medicines, and students are looking at the perspectives of both sides and immigrant healthcare. And so what I mean by both sides, I mean how people are treated when receiving Western medicine and how people in non-Western countries are being treated when it comes to healthcare or needing medicine. So transition into the lesson plan is going to be a video, and the video is going to be on healthcare professionals and their interactions with their patients. And so I kind of came up with this hook of asking students to kind of reflect on their experiences in the doctor's office. Were they uncomfortable? Did they understand or know what healthcare coverage was? Did the doctor explain to them what they were doing before they even started doing anything? If they needed to receive a shot, did they let them know what kind of medicine they were being injected with? And I thought this was a pretty good hook because every time I've been to the doctor, as far as I can remember, they've always kind of walked me through what they were doing. This is a shot for the flu. It contains this and so forth. And I think that's kind of a really good thing to ask students to get them more aware of what is actually happening when they're going to the doctor and even healthcare in general. So modeling was the video, which was the interactions, and then for my scaffolds, I wanted to make it clear that I would play the video through, but then play it through again, but with pauses to kind of reiterate and clarify for students just in case they were lost in what the video was actually saying, and kind of show them the differences, maybe even make comparisons as I'm pausing. Guided instruction, what they do, they're going to be breaking up into small groups, and then once they've read their section of the excerpts of "The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down," they will then discuss in their groups what they found interesting in the readings. And so with this, I kind of wanted to pair my IEPs and English learners, not together, but in groups with native speakers to kind of add extra support through the reading and discussion. And I'll also be walking around the classroom and helping as well, because I do know sometimes students get stuck when they're put in discussions and they don't really want to talk to one another, which is strange because if you don't put them in a group, they're always talking. And Independent practice would be a list of questions. So these questions will be geared towards the reading and kind of just helping them really hone in and focus on the reading. And then the questions give them page numbers to help them out in finding the answer. For this, I decided I know it's a lot of questions, so I want to provide extra time for this activity. So even if they don't finish, it can also be for homework. And yeah, I kind of just worked in different areas more than others in this lesson plan. And yeah, that's pretty much it.